See, I told you there's always problems. Damn. I think I'm gonna break this port. This is fine. This is good. Oh, what's up? I'm Ari at home. I'm setting up my mobile production rig right now in Central Park. Let's get into it. It's like some YouTube shit. It's a little messy right now, so I apologize. But basically what we got is Mac Mini that runs Ableton and the Stream. This is my audio interface. It's got all these cables because it sends stereo out and then stereo back in from my looper. And then the whole rig is powered off of these camera batteries that you can hot swap. So I can power this whole thing just carrying like 2 pounds of batteries and then force the person holding the camera to carry the rest. And then the only other thing really back here is the internet modem. So there's like these little devices that have SIM cards in them, and then they sort of all connect to different cell providers and bond my video and audio signal so that it can get sent to the internet well. So that's all that's going on back here. It's nothing too crazy, but it breaks all the time. Shout out my friend Charlie for welding this. He's not a welder, he's literally a lawyer. I don't know why or how he learned how to weld aluminum, but he did. And he also learned how to implement hinges. So this thing does this, which is pretty useful for getting this thing down like tight spaces. Still can't get through the MTA turnstile, which is a little frustrating, but I have one mix that comes out of my headphones, then another mix that goes into this, which just cranks up the signal volume. Then this is a sub. These are 4 normal mid-range speakers, and then there's another sub on the other side. So it's 6 speakers, Mini Rig speakers, shout out Mini Rig in Bristol. This thing up here is sort of a new thing that I'm trying out, which is a way to wirelessly receive 4K HDMI video. I used to just do this rig with sort of like an iPhone filming, and before that it was just like an action cam on a selfie stick.
This is old shit.
But now I've been trying to get it looking a little more crisp and professional. So let's see. Cool. All right, should I put this on? So this rig is, last I weighed, it is 55 pounds. It's literally single-handedly putting me in shape. When I started streaming with this, I weighed 30 pounds less. Okay, so then I put on this little mic. Test, 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 test. And then these guys are like helicopter monitoring headphones, but they have the same drivers as the headphones I use inside, so I like them. The only problem is when I put them on, I literally can't hear anything. But the benefit is when people try to like harass me outside, I cannot hear them. And that's the way New York works, is if you can't hear someone, chances are they are not gonna really bother you. I wanna get a holster for this out here, but right now I just put it in here. So now that this is on, I'll just give like a sort of quick, easy run through. So what I have here is, this is a 5-track looper where you can record any sound you want to and sort of infinitely overdub. These are really just like faders and dials that I have mapped to what I want to do. So like this one is like the speaker output, so when I go on it, it makes the speakers louder. This one over here is like my mic. And then there's reverb and delay, nothing too complicated. This is the keyboard. It's not just a piano. This is how I play everything. So how I play the drums, how I play violin, how I can play a piano if I want. It's actually pretty hard to play because if you noticed, it looks very cool, but it doesn't look like a piano. So it's a little tricky to play, and there's no sustain pedal, so I kind of have to wing it if I want to sustain chords. The more complicated stuff I have is in Ableton itself. So if you want to come over here, I have, the way I tried to set this up is this is like a big performance template, and I want it to sort of be as hands-off as possible. So every sound that I make is just a number that I enter. So 1 enter is these drums. Then I have, you know, different drums on different tracks. I have like synths that are batched in the hundreds of what type of sounds. So like the 300s are basses, for example. And then I put in a recent thing, which is a randomizer. So if you hold down a plus and press like 8, for instance, these are all of my keyboard-esque sounds. So like that's a randomly selected sound, obviously a patch I've already made, but I like that it adds a little bit of randomness. So I guess I'll just walk you through like a very simple loop right now. So I'll set a tempo in here that has a click that my headphones hear, but you guys don't. So let's say I start with drums. I have like let's start with, so the way that I would start recording this is these are essentially like 5 different tracks. When I press a button, it starts recording. And then if I press it again, it'll overdub. And then this is one track that I can bring in or out, another track. So I'll show you how I use the different tracks. So let's say we take the first one, we'll do like, now I'll do a macro that's associated to a hi-hat, this sound. I'll overdub this over the first track, so it'll be like, so those are my drums right now, just a very simple drum. And then for instance, let's say let's add in a bass line. So I'll pick a bass I like. So now the bass is on the second track, so I can take the drums out like that and then bring them back in. Now let's add a little bit of randomness. One of my keys, I don't know which sound this is gonna be, but I'll figure it out. So usually what I do on this looper, I don't use a lot of the looper effects. Basically the one effect I spam is a low pass on the bass. So it sounds like this, and then you can use you can toggle how low passy it is, and then it just gives the bass a little bit of motion. And then let's do some of the cooler macros. So some of the cooler macros I have are mic samplers. So for instance, hopefully this will work. If I go like dum, dum, let's do a better one though. So that's sort of like instantly sampling my voice. Okay, so then last, let's say that we want some vocals, but I don't know how to sing. This is not a hypothetical, I literally don't know. This beat right now is, it's getting a little annoying, but it's in the key of F. So I have each of my auto-tune keys assigned to different numbers. So F I know is 425. So when I type in 425 and I turn on the auto-tune, I don't know. Usually I would rap probably in that kind of beat instead of auto-tune. It didn't really fit it. So that's basically the setup. Now we're all ready to go. Now all I have to do is walk around for 3 to 4 hours and hold this mic out and try to get people to join in on the jams. Anyway, see you there.